Alright, so we are installing a hitch onto a 2018 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. You can really just do it by crawling under your vehicle. I threw a couple 2x4s and parked on them just to give myself an extra inch and a half or so of clearance, inch and a quarter. But you don't even need to do this, it's just something I did for my own comfort. You might want to do the same. Okay, so here's the hitch. I ordered it from U-Haul. It was cheaper than anywhere else. You can blame the hole on either FedEx or the fact that it's a big heavy piece of steel being shipped in a box. Inside, the only thing you really have is the hitch itself. The hardware is in this bundle here. We'll take that out. And there's some of these, I guess, cushions to stop it from breaking the box, but that didn't work so well, did it? Okay, this is it completely unwrapped and out of the box. Of course, we have the hitch, and that's all the hardware that goes along with it. And it's a fairly straightforward installation. In fact, the installation guide is a single sheet with a diagram of how it goes on the Outlander. And it actually lists a DIY install time of 30 minutes. So they anticipate a fairly straightforward install, and that's what we'll see here today. Okay, so I'm under the Outlander now, and this is your tow loop. So coming from the factory, you may have this on your vehicle on either side, and essentially it's bolted to the frame, and if you ever needed to tow someone, or maybe pulled out of the ditch or something, you know, where it's not too crazy, you don't need a tow truck, this is your tow loop. But the bolts it uses up here, those two there, is actually what's used for the hitch installation. So we have to take this off. And there's a third bolt underneath as well. So we'll have to remove 3, not 2 bolts. And for this I'm using a 14mm socket. There we have it. Okay, so we're ready to continue. And one of the notes it makes in the instructions is to ensure that these bolts here have a, I guess, a nut or threads to screw into in here. And it looks like they exist. If they don't exist, it comes with a length of line that you actually have to use to fish in here. You pull it through, and then you have this bolt hanging out, and then you can bolt onto it from below. But these have them. However, so it certainly looks like the threads are there, but they're in rough shape. You know, that's normal. Unless your car's brand new and you're doing this right off the bat, you certainly have some dust and dirt and muck and grime and rocks getting all knocked up against your undercarriage. So to clean those out and make them, I guess, acceptable for the bolts, I have found that this is the best way to do it. Go and grab one of these wire brush drill bits. Just clean out the threads. I don't know if you could, you probably can't see it on the video, but quite a bit of dust and stuff fell out of there. So I'm going to do that a few times, and then I'm going to try the bolt again. So the other thing you can do if this doesn't take right away, oh, there we go, I got it in. So yeah, mine will thread in. If you can't get it to work, you might need to use some WD-40 or like Evapor Rust and spray it in there, or put on like a cotton swab and leave it up there for, you know, overnight, and then come out. That takes care of a lot of the rust, a lot of the grime. And when I installed a hitch on my Chevrolet Volt, that is actually the solution I had to use, but it looks like this will work for me, so that's good news. Okay, so confirm that you have these threaded bolts, and then that these are clear on both sides, because it's these bolts, or these holes, and this threaded bolt that you're going to use to install the hitch. Okay, so for the first step, I have the hardware laid out for each side, and it's actually quite simple. You're going to feed the bolts through this plate here, and then from the outside in on either side. So again, from the outside in, you're going to feed these through those two holes there, just so they're flush with the wall here. So just like that, and we're going to do that on both sides, and then it should be fairly easy to lift the hitch into place and push those through. And that's the other side. So we are ready to lift the hitch into position. So that side's in, fairly easy to do. And I'll just do the other side here. Okay, so I got it up there, and I've got at least one of the bolts through on each side, and it's just thumb tightened with its respective nut. So it's not going to come down on me, and I can get all the other bolts and nuts in place in preparation for the final step. So 2 side bolts and 1 bolt on the bottom. Okay, so this is the driver's side, and this is a big pain in the butt. You have no space to fit a socket wrench or anything back there, so you're going to need a 19 millimeter long wrench like this to get underneath here and tighten this bolt. Okay, the last step is to torque the carriage bolts to 110 pounds, and the underside ones, the single bolts that are a little bit smaller, to 48. So we'll do that right now. Once you have them all tightened appropriately to their torque levels, you are ready to tow. So the next step that you might want to do is wire your trailer as well. And you can find the steps for that in the follow-up video here. Thanks so much for watching.